So I interview some one-off people and I find out about this word called mastermind. I'm like, mastermind, what is that? I didn't Google it. I didn't look into it. I said, hey man, you remember me? I interviewed you here a few months ago. He says, yeah. I'm like, hey, you talked about this word called mastermind in a podcast. And this is in 2018 at this point. Now, in 2018, I knew what a podcast was-ish, but I really didn't know what a podcast was. My wife was like, you need to start listening to podcasts. So I'm like, tell me about it. He tells me, I'm like, all right, I'm sold. And I hop on a plane. I go to my first mastermind over in Thailand. And
Thailand.
There
was no mastermind in the US.
There was, but the one that I chose to go to, this was US based, but they were doing a getaway. So I head over to Thailand and I've got these amazing teachers over there. People, one of them had sold their business for over $50 million when he was 29. Another one had created a cystogram company that had helped, 40 plus million followers. So on and so forth. Steve Sims, also known as the Real Wizard of Oz, and a few other, amazing teachers. And as I'm leaving Thailand, I realized my unfair advantage was time and money, because I could have invested in the wrong mastermind, but financially I would have been okay with where the price point was. It wasn't like it was 10,000 or 100,000. And this one I think was $3,000. But I realized that how many people don't have time and money to just sit there and say, I'm still going to be okay if I spend this and it doesn't work out. And I'm like, that's not okay. Like, I can't be the only one out there that didn't know about coaching and mentorship and masterminds. There's got to be more of me out there. Mm-hmm. Now, this mastermind worked out. So as I'm leaving Thailand, I start buying up URLs to what we now know as the Success Finder. And I realized if we can cut out the noise, which are the marketers, because that's all, the marketers are constantly flooding our inbox in our feeds when we're scrolling through. If we can cut out the noise, help people find the signal, those are the real coaches, the real masterminds, the result leaders, not the thought leaders. It's great to have a thought, but to actually have actionable results is a whole different story. And take that and create, in essence, some have started calling it the TripAdvisor for self-education. So taking the coaches and the masterminds and matching them with the members, then we're solving a problem. We're shortening the gap. We're shortening the time frame so they know who they can trust, who's going to get them the results. So whether it's $500 or $5,000, they're going to be taken care of. Their results are going to be there because these coaches are tried, true, vetted. We know what the results that they get. And now we've changed over a $50 billion a year industry, which they say in the next 5 to 10 years is going to be somewhere between $150 to $200 billion, because standard education, it's a little different now. Having $250,000 in debt, depending on where you're at in the world, might not be worth it versus going and learning from someone who's doing it.